Carlo Petrini, the founder of Slow Food Movement, has aptly said, "There is food for everyone on this planet, but not everyone eats." Roughly one-third of the food produced in the world each year gets wasted, with large losses owing to supply chain disruptions and inefficiencies. Around 1.3 billion tons of food gets wasted, which amounts to $990 billion.
So, our platform is called Food Hive, which is a step towards a sustainable future. Our platform will have multiple features which will cater to the needs of both the producers, suppliers, and the middlemen. The primary features which we're going to explore here today are buy, sell, and logistics. Now, let's first explore the buy feature, which caters primarily to the producers here. The buy feature will enable the producers to source any sort of raw materials from a wide range of suppliers and also other producers who are looking forward to exchanging their surplus stock. The diversification of supply network here will enable the producers to meet any sort of shortages which result from the supply chain disruptions caused by any environmental or political issues. Let's move on to the sell feature in the platform. So the sell feature here has a registration form for any new suppliers to sign up. This will enable the suppliers to generate revenue by selling the products that might have otherwise been lost, or they would have to destroy those products because there is lesser demand of the products caused by any supply chain disruptions. Last but not the least, the main feature of our platform is going to cater to the needs of the logistic partners. This is to build the supply chain resilience in case of any disruptions which are caused by any environmental issues. So we'll have order ID and corresponding the status of the order and any potential disruptions which might be caused due to a poor weather or any political issue and what is the delay that is caused by that particular issue. So platform will leverage data analytics and AI to record and monitor the critical environmental parameters, and also so the logistics partner can take proactive actions and do predictive maintenance, leading to customer delight caused by the products reaching the customer on time. Our platform will facilitate the government and non-profit organizations to register and seek donations through the platform, while suppliers can redirect surplus to those in need, thus absorbing surplus which would have otherwise been destroyed. There are some other benefits to our portal as well. For example, the partnerships fostered will enable suppliers and producers to directly connect with the market and prompt the middlemen to increase value to the process and create good paying jobs. Last but not least, the insights ability or the forecasting ability of the data analytics would be leveraged using historical trade data and weather data to prevent any potential supply chain inefficiency which results from bottlenecks or supply demand imbalances in the food chain.
Now let's talk about our business model and the various stakeholders who comprise our business model, which is basically the producers ecosystem, the suppliers ecosystem, who are connected through our web portal, who in turn are connected with our logistic partners. In terms of pandemic, we also propose to connect our suppliers with the governments and NGOs who would source their producers for distribution further into the society or to the people. For each of these stakeholders, our business model has further analyzed what is our objective with each of the stakeholders, what is the cost angle to that, and what is the potential revenue streams which we are looking at from each of these parties.
Going one by one, starting with the suppliers ecosystem, wherein our objective is to optimize their distribution and help them tap into the small customer segment. Our revenue sources here would be the subscription fees for listing themselves on our portal and the percentage of revenue from their orders procured from the producers. The cost that will go in for any of these partners is technically the marketing effort, which we will have to incur to source them to be as a part of our ecosystem. The second party would be the producers ecosystem, for whom again our objective is to optimize the logistics but on the procurement side. Here in again, our revenue will be the subscription fees for them to list in our portal. The third integral party in our system would be the logistics partners. Here they are able to expand their customer base and tap into the small sized businesses and remote areas. For them, in order to auction and take the orders for the frequent routes which have been taken by the suppliers and the producers, they will have to pay a subscription fees to be listed in our portal, and we might also be able to negotiate a percentage of the revenue from these trips done. The cost, again, would be the marketing effort to source them. The fourth party, with whom we do not have a revenue angle but it is a social initiative, is the government and the NGOs. During pandemic and during crisis, in order to participate as a part of the redistribution programs and also to ensure that there is no food shortage or wastage, we would be collaborating with them on their food management programs. There will be some efforts that go into partnering with these government and government agencies who undertake these initiatives, which will be the cost that is required to cater to this segment of our business. Now we drew up rough projections with the initial target market of India. At a scale of about 1,000 suppliers, 50,000 producers, and 100 logistics partners, the numbers look like $4.3 million potential revenue every year, with an operating profit as high as $3.8 million. And the revenue from subscription fees alone would come down to about $0.9 million. While running these projections, there were certain assumptions which were made on the way. The first and foremost one is on the scale of operation. This scale can be expanded later on as the learning curve improves. And secondly, we assumed on the average number of trips which each of these producers or supplier would undertake each year and their order sizes. The tariffs for the logistics partners and the order sizes, etc., have been taken based on the current market scenario in India, and the calculations were drew up initially in INR and later converted to USD.
Now that we have spoken about the cost and revenue in the business model, how do we scale it up? In the current stage, the growth stage, we focus on the user acquisition. This can be done by increasing the business development team, as well as developing new partners. Examples of partners are non-competing B2C trading or e-commerce companies, such as local champion Flipkart. Their sellers can be our potential suppliers. Secondly, to retain users, we can expand the customer service team to achieve service excellence. Thirdly, we focus on marketing and branding. These marketing and branding efforts can be done through multi-channels, such as billboards, trade association bulletins, and even other e-commerce platforms. In the second stage, where we are ready to scale, we will leverage on the sufficiently large user base. That includes producers, suppliers, and logistics companies. By setting up referral systems that encourages existing users to recommend potential users for discounts, this is in line with the service excellence effort we made during the growth stage. Secondly, we will enhance features to refresh user experience and even possibly add relevant features such as job notifications to the logistics providers for added fees. Finally, in the third stage, where we go international. In this stage, we can expand into other geographies, especially the developing countries, which also face significant issues in terms of supply chain and small-scale food industries. In all three stages, we will have skillful and passionate employees, good leadership, prudent financial management, and scalable, cost-effective infrastructure.
For our solution to function as intended, our team has identified the principal risks that the initiative might be exposed to within a risk map, evaluating each of these in terms of impact and probability of occurrence. Due to the nature of our solution and considering the global trends in terms of risk management, it is not surprising to see all the technological trends within the high impact, high probability section of the map.
This is also important when we consider our client and product database. Even when the website will be launched as a pilot program in selected countries, allowing a chance to control, evaluate, and improve our web pages' performance and scale, we must consider that the size and the complexity of our data will increase as we continue to expand towards new geographies, and that there will always be a high need to safeguard and protect our members' information. For this, we intend to host our platform on a cloud database, giving us opportunity to have an external specialized team that can support us in case of a malfunction. We also have to consider that the supply chain overviewed by our platform has an additional level of complexity added by the fact that most of the goods negotiated by all our members are perishables, with different specifications regarding how they should be handled, transported, and stored. Because of this, we want to enable our producer members to share the characteristics of their products, allowing both transportation and buyer members to prepare in advance. We will also include a section within the platform where our members can consult specialized resources and relevant links. Finally, we have to acknowledge the participation of other members in the market, such as government entities and regulatory agents, along with trade unions. To create synergies and to avoid possible operative disruptions, we will have to ensure an open and transparent communication with them in an orderly manner.
After considering our business model, revenue streams, and risk management strategy, we conclude that Food Hive would lead to a resilient supply chain for the F&B industry. At the same time, it would be a step towards reducing food wastage and making huge social impact. Join us as we, Team Sustainability for Everyone, embark upon a journey towards a sustainable future.